You are listening to Carolina Talk Radio, the official podcast of SEU Carolina. This is your host, Kevin Smith. Joining us on the show today is Amanda Torres. Amanda is a graduate of SEU Carolina, and this is her alumni story. This broadcast was recorded last season, and it has never been seen or heard. You're hearing it right here for the first time. So strap in, listen in, and let's get fired up. Amanda, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
How do you feel today?
I feel good. I'm excited.
You ready to do this?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so we have an icebreaker question for you to kick this thing off. Okay, if your college years were a movie, what would the title be?
Whoa, that's crazy. I don't know, maybe everything I wish I knew, or I don't know, something along those lines, because my college years were so unexpected. There was not a moment of college that I could have predicted. Everything went differently than I planned and envisioned for my life. So maybe if I had known, that would be
Whoa, that's really good. I love that title. If I had known.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it would be if I had known, you say those things and you're like, if I had known this, then I wouldn't have blah, blah, blah. But it's not that. I think the end would be a plot twist of if I had known, I would have done it anyway.
That sounds like the kind of movie I would absolutely hate, because it would be totally unpredictable. Yeah. And would totally go an unexpected route. Literally. But as it relates to your story, we would love the outcome, because it's definitely turned out so well for you.
Significantly better than anticipated.
All right. Would this release in theaters or on Netflix?
It would have to be a theatrical release. It would just have to be.
Absolutely. All right. So let's look back at some memorable college moments. Okay. If you had to pick one defining moment from your college years, what would it be?
The whole
defining
thing.
Moment. Yes.
Okay.
What's something that you remember that was just, okay, that was a defining moment. That was a turning point. That was a big deal.
I think the turning point of my college years, post actually getting here, because that was a whole story, so I came in the spring. I started halfway through the year. I started in January, and my whole plan was to go home for summer. And these opportunities for staying over the summer were popping up at different ministries throughout the church. And so I was really wrestling, because I felt like the Lord was kind of prompting me to stay for the summer. And that was not the plan. Again, if I had known. Not the plan at all. And I talked with the enrollment counselor at the time, Emma Gerard.
Yeah.
And we were just talking, and I love her so much because she does her job. She did her job so well, and she was also listening to the voice of God at all times. And she basically told me, because I was expressing throughout the semester, really not feeling like I had a place, not feeling like I fit in. I was new at the time. A lot of the community here had grown up in the area, because I was one of the first classes to show up at the school. And so she told me, she was like, if you really want to find family here, then you have to plant some roots. And I decided that summer to stay. And it was I'm just going to stay this summer, and then I'll go home next summer and whatever. And almost 7 years later, I'm still here. So I feel that was a big turning point for me, was deciding I needed to plant roots here.
Well, let's talk about those roots, because I feel like you definitely took that advice to heart. You look at the relationships and the friendships that you built with Peyton and Rachel, and y'all are all roommates now, right?
Yeah, literally lifelong friends. People that...
even post-college, you all live together.
Yes. Way post-college, we're still all living together or hanging out together multiple times a week. We have multiple group chats on every social media platform. And I never would have guessed that that decision to stay would have led me to literally building a life here in Concord. It was not the plan, again. If I had known, it was not the plan at all.
One of the things that we tell students frequently is that college is not just about where you're going to study, but who you're going to grow with.
Yes.
And I feel like you definitely took that to heart. So what drew you originally to SEU Carolina? There's so many places you can go to school, so many institutions where you can go to get a good education, even a Christ-centered one.
Yeah.
So why'd you choose SEU Carolina?
That story is actually kind of crazy. I had graduated in summer of 2018, didn't have any plans really to go to college. I was dreaming of becoming, like, going and pursuing my degree in secondary English education so that I could take that onto the mission field. That's what I felt like I wanted to do. I knew that I was called to ministry, but I didn't know how, where, when, what vein, whatever. And so I just so happened to go to youth convention as a leader with my youth group. And at that youth convention, the Lord kind of destroyed every plan that I had made for my life, every dream, everything that I was like, yeah, I'm going to like go do this. He was like, no, you're not. I never told you to do that. In fact, he told me that I had taken his plans and made them my own. And I was like, oh, that's not a fun place to be in, to take the plan of the Lord and then corrupt it with my own will, you know? Okay. And so at that convention, I was going through this process of surrender, and I had actually like been going through a process of surrender for months at that point. And before that convention, I had prayed for the Lord to speak to me because I didn't know what I was doing next. I was like, God, I need a next step. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm living at home. I'm just working every day with no plans for college or anything. What do I do next? And so it was at that convention, I had a friend that was at SEU Carolina at the time, Darius. I'd grown up with him. Love Darius. And he was just like, hey, you should come check out the booth, whatever, the SEU Carolina booth. And I was like, okay. Super introverted at the time. I was terrified of people. Did not want to talk to anyone. And I walk up to the booth. I see you, but you're talking with people.
Okay.
And so Emma spots me first. Okay. She was enrollment counselor at the time. And so she's just talking to me, and she's like, hey, like, you senior, doing the whole like recruitment like spiel. It's like, I really just want a pop socket, because pop sockets were really in at the time. And so she's talking to me about this, and she's like, well, if you fill out this, then like if you come to the school, you automatically get like this like discount, and like it enters you into a drawing for a scholarship. I was like, whatever. Okay. It allows me to spin the wheel for a pop socket, so let's do it. So I filled out the thing.
What'd you get when you spun the wheel?
I got a pen. I did not get a pop socket.
I'm so sorry.
Crazy disappointment. Wild disappointment.
A pen.
But basically, we're just talking, and she's asking me about my plans. I tell her, like, yeah, I just graduated. And I told her, like, yeah, I'm thinking about being a teacher. And she was looking at me like she had known me my whole life. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? And she's like, for you, that's a cop out. And I was like, who are you? Wow. She was like, I don't know. I don't get it. But for you, I feel like there's something else, and I feel like you're running from something. And I was like, you don't know me. Okay, thank you. Go into service. God wrecks my plans. I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm going to ministry. What do I do now? Right? Yeah. And I just felt the whole weekend like the Lord is like prompting me, like, hey, this is your school. And I was like, what? Okay. How? I can't afford school. I haven't been saving for college. I'm not planning on going to college anytime soon. Like, I wanted to at least have a savings plan before I go to college. And my family, I didn't grow up with money. So my parents they didn't have a college savings plan for me at all. And he was like, if you say yes, I'll provide the way. And I said, okay. And so I was like, okay, God, if you make the way, if you provide the funds, I will go. Okay. But it's only if you provide the funds. So the next day, day 2 of youth convention, all the schools that are there promoting, they're announcing like prize winners. Someone's getting an iPad. Someone's getting a T-shirt. And SEU Carolina did the scholarship drawing that I had completely forgotten about. I honestly didn't even process Emma telling me that I was entering for a scholarship drawing. Okay. And so they get up and they announce the male winner of the scholarship, and then everyone gets off stage but Emma and Darius, my friend. And they announced that I had won the other scholarship to school. And I was like, I'm literally like, it was a movie moment. Truly, this would be in the movie. Okay. It was a movie moment. I'm sitting in the balcony in the center seat, directly in front of the stage. There's no rows in front of me. I'm in the first row of the balcony. Yeah. And they say, Amanda Torres, in my entire row, like all my friends around me that I'd grown up with my entire life, they all crane their heads and they look at me. And I'm just sitting there like this. And then I start bawling, and my friends are like, that's you. I'm like, what is going on? It was an insane moment. And so literally, like, me showing up at SEU Carolina I had nothing to do with me, nothing to do with my plans or even my choice. It was out of obedience to the Lord, and he provided everything I needed to get there.
What a journey. What a story.
It was insane.
Special shout out to Emma Gerard. One thing I feel like in her time here with us in getting this thing started and getting it going
she was definitely great in operating in the gifts of the Holy Spirit as she met people on the road, people like you, and saw what God had planned and had in store. And she was able to operate in those gifts and call those things out of students. So I'm definitely glad that your story ended up like it did.
Yeah.
I'm glad it made the cut for the movie.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Okay. Professor, mentor, or friend that had a big impact on you in your college years?
Oh my goodness. So many.
Who's somebody that made a big impact on you?
So many. I would say Pastor Gwen Stowers.
Yeah.
She was professor of a couple of theology classes she did when I was learning church from the Reformation to the modern era. She taught, oh my goodness. Her classes meant the world to me and to a bunch of other people. I have so many memories of talking about her classes with other students because she just facilitated discussion like no one else. And there would be students that are having debates with each other. We're debating with her. But she created this learning environment of true, just like genuine curiosity. And those are some of my favorite like discussions just about life even. Cause she was like, I'm not just teaching you like theology. Theology applies to the world that we live in and how we function in it. And so we had so many incredible discussions in there. And she really encouraged me to, especially as a woman in ministry, to always learn, to always push, to understand. And yeah, she is to this day just such an inspiration.
She's the GOAT.
She really is. Love her.
So, what's a funny or unexpected experience you had during college here? Is there something fun? Maybe it's something unexpected?
So many. Oh my gosh. College it's so hard to sum up into like 30 minutes. But
I know.
I reminisce on it all the time with my friends now. I think welcome weeks were always hilarious. I remember going to the Whitewater Center. We have videos. We have videos of people falling out of rafts. I have a video of you falling out of a raft.
Really? You have footage of that?
I do.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that.
I have footage of Marquis falling out of a raft and someone like hopping to the edge of the boat to like haul him back in. That was the funniest video. Oh my gosh. Because he goes like head over heels into the water.
Yeah. So you weren't worried for anybody's life or limb at that point in time. You were just having a great time down there.
I was because like everyone falls out of the raft at one point in time at the Whitewater Center.
Welcome week for me. Welcome week is probably one of the most anticipated weeks of the year because it's just it delivers on like the adrenaline. You're meeting people. There's hype, but then you also have like those deep spiritual reflection moments like at Fort Caswell and Oak Island. Yeah. When you're like at a service. Yeah,
I just remember one year at Oak Island, someone, I think Shayna had brought her guitar, and so we had discussed we were going to do this devotional, and worship just kind of like, and we did do the devotional. Now, don't get me wrong. We value the word as much as we value anything else. Worship just kind of took everyone far deeper than we were ever anticipating it to, because it's first week of the year, everyone barely knows each other, or not sure how comfortable people are going to be, but there was something about that moment where everyone recognized we were actually here for the same reason, we're here for the same purpose, and every like wall that we had come to college with over the week has already been weakened over welcome week, and by the time you reach Oak Island, it's just gone, and it was beautiful.
Question. Lessons learned. How did your time at SEU Carolina shape who you are today?
I am definitely more extroverted than I was when I came in. Like I said, when I was young, I was terrified of people. I was mega introvert.
You were quiet, very quiet.
Very quiet. I'm not starting conversations with anybody, whether I know you or not. I'm not the one to initiate a conversation. But being and going through SEU Carolina and the positions that I got to hold as well, and student leadership team and all that stuff, really challenged me to value the voice that God gave me and trust that I do know the Lord and I do hear from him, and to speak with authority like I do. And so I really think that might have been one of the biggest lessons I learned, was that like the voice that God gave me carries weight when I speak. And so it completely changed my identity. The person that I was coming into college and the person that I am now are wildly different people. And I think that is a big part of it. it pushed me out of every comfort zone. Living with people in student housing that you would never have even been friends with in high school. I mean, it just pushed you out. It pushed me out of every comfort zone. It taught me to like learn who I am and value the voice that the Lord gave me.
How did you enjoy living on campus and housing?
Oh my gosh, I loved it.
Really?
I loved it. I have so many stories of housing, and they're so fun. I think I talked about it with my roommates recently because I was in housing the entire college experience, and I was in housing during like some transitional periods, and I was like, I feel like I had like 12 to 15 different roommates throughout my college experience. I had at least one new roommate every semester, at least, if not 4. Like
now, when so there's a time where we had partnered with Century at Afton.
The apartments.
And so was that part of your housing experience? Mm-hmm. You got to live out there?
Oh, yeah. I had lived in 2 different apartments during
I felt like that was so bougie because y'all had like a pool and y'all had like
it was really
the
bougie.
fitness center. And just...
We had like the whole clubhouse. We had like the pool table, and then we had the pool, fitness center, a whole 9.
It was atrocious, though, getting ready for move-in day because we had some on the 3rd floor, 2nd floor,
Oh my gosh, it was
first floor.
the worst. It was the worst. Moving furniture and things into those apartments?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Now we pivoted from the apartment experience,
mm-hmm.
and our church had acquired several houses,
mm-hmm.
which many of which we still use today,
mm-hmm.
and it provides our student with a residential on-campus experience.
Yeah.
Less like dorm life, more like the residential experience. Did you get to live in houses on campus?
I did.
Which house were you at?
I lived in 2. I lived in 34 Lisk,
Okay.
and I lived in 2nd Street.
Okay.
So I got to live in the new house.
Okay.
And the new house is real nice.
How did you like living? I guess on campus in church housing.
Oh, it was really nice.
As opposed to the apartment.
Oh my goodness. First of all, when I lived in the apartments, I didn't drive. And that drive is like 10, sometimes 15 minutes with traffic from campus. And I'm relying on either my roommates or people in other apartments to like give me a ride.
Yeah.
So stressful. I was stressed every day just getting to school or to work, wherever, because I didn't drive, but whatever. But living in student housing where it is now at the houses, so convenient. Like 2 minutes and you're at class or you're at practicum or wherever it may be. And like having all the grocery stores like right there.
Yeah.
Greatest thing ever. I also just loved the like house vibe more than the apartment life because you had like a yard and like I remember we used to host like bonfires and like we would just hang out in the backyard, play volleyball. And it was so fun, so chill. I loved it.
You were here in a season where like everybody played volleyball.
Yes, I was.
And now we actually have a volleyball pro that attends our school.
I know.
And nobody plays volleyball.
I know. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm like, we started something. Why couldn't you carry it on,
We have to have like alumni versus students. We'll
oh
have
my
to
gosh,
do
we
like
should.
alumni versus students
yes.
thing. So if you could go back in time and give your freshman self a piece of advice, you could go back in time to that introverted Amanda Torres. What advice would you give yourself?
I would say plant your feet. Because just like in that first semester where I was like, do I stay, do I go, whatever. Like even after that, I still was like trying to find who I was by trying 1,000 different ministries. I talked to literally everybody and their mothers, just trying to like build relationships, and it stretched me beyond what I was capable of, and in good ways and bad. You know, I wrestled a lot with burnout, and I wrestled with just being overloaded and overwhelmed. You know, I had a lot of failures during those first years of college because of how much I took on, how many titles, how many positions I was holding, all the classes that I was taking, the family that I was still trying to, my literal sisters and my parents that I was still trying to have relationships with, while I'm also trying to manage relationships here and relationships back home. And so I would tell my younger self, like, plant your feet, take on less. It's okay. When I was 18, 19, 20 years old, I felt like I had to save the world and I had to do it today. And like, I wasn't going to live to see 30. Not like in that dramatic way, but like, I felt like I had to do everything and I had to do it now, because if I didn't do it now, it wouldn't get done. I was going to fail my older self or something like that. And so like, I wish I had realized I had more time and I could really like cherish the places that I was in.
So good, so good. Great advice. So, your graduation. Do you remember your graduation?
I do remember my graduation.
What do you remember about that day?
I honestly, okay, this is actually kind of funny. I didn't take a lot of photos. We don't have many photos of my graduation. What I might remember, I'm not a big photo person. My friends get on me all the time. I'm bad at taking photos.
But for the listeners who don't know, your mother was inspired by you jumping in and going to school that she wanted to finish her education.
Yeah.
So she went back to school and y'all graduated together.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think you pushed back and delayed a class or two so that you could walk with her at graduation, which I think is precious. But how do you not have a picture of that?
We have like 2 photos. I'm not exaggerating. We literally took 2 photos the whole entire weekend. But yeah, I remember graduating with my mom. That's what I remember. It was such a sweet moment because my mom has been in school for literally as long as I can remember. Like, I remember living in New York, being a kid. My mom was in school. Like, I remember her being a secretary at a church and being at school. And so literally my whole life, I've watched my mom do homework, watched her study and take exams. And when she couldn't get a babysitter, sometimes we would just go with her and sit in the car while she went into her class, and then she would come back out and whatever. When we were older, we weren't that young. We were fine. We were safe. But my whole life, I remember her being in school. And then when things got really bad financially, she had to drop out for a season so that she could focus more on work. She couldn't handle raising 5 girls and working and all the financial things that we were dealing with and be in school. And so when she took that break, financial aid, right, your student loans kick in after 6 months of not being enrolled, and she couldn't afford to pay off the outstanding balance that she had and pay off her student loans and do all the things, and so she couldn't go back. And so there was a good, I want to say like 6 years between when she dropped out and when she got back to school, and she only had like maximum 2 years left. I think she actually only had like a year and a half left. And so it was when the global education program got to SEU Carolina. I was working on the student development team as the academic advising assistant at the time with Dr. Agard. Love him. King. Love him. And so I learned about the global education program. My mom's a teacher. She's been a teacher for many, many, many years, over a decade now. And so when that program was announced, I called my mom immediately. And I was like, Mom, do you think this is something that you could do? Like, what do you think? And she was like, yes. And so got her in so quick. And she's a workhorse. I feel like could outstudy, out school, out education, just about anybody under the sun. She was a straight A student for my entire life and then some, like crazy.
So proud of your mom, and
seriously,
what a moment to get to graduate together.
Yeah.
That's really special. I think, I couldn't think of anything more special. Now, question, are you a first-gen college student? Are you first in your family to graduate from college?
My older sister graduated the year before me.
Okay.
So my older sister graduated in 22, and then my mom and I graduated 23.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Family moments. So let's talk about what you do today. So you've graduated, you've walked. What have you been up to? Where are you? What are you doing now?
So I'm currently the associate youth pastor for Multiply Church in Concord, and
How does that feel?
It. It's my favorite thing ever. I love it so much. I've been working with the youth ministry for a while, like a number of years now, and so I just started not that long ago in this role specifically, and I absolutely love it. I love getting to spend time with the students and pour into them and see them grow and see them catch that same fire that I caught when I was in youth, and it's been so cool. I love it.
What excites you most about your job?
There's so many pieces, but I want to say like the personal discipleship aspect and getting to have those one-on-one conversations and seeing what like makes their heart beat. You know what I mean? Like, what about it? What about the world? What about life? What about the things that the Lord has done and given to them, whether it be their gifts or the context that they grew up in? What about this world that God has given us makes their heart burn? Mm-hmm. What is it that is the passion that God gave them that he wants to use them to expand his kingdom through. And so that is by far my favorite, like getting to see students that are passionate about arts and about worship or passionate about automobiles. And they talk to me about, like, I had a student once that was like, well, he worked in a car shop, and he was like talking to me about like the people that he would get to talk to on the daily about the Lord. And it blows me away. These students, they outdo me in evangelism with like the stories that they bring me. And like someone works at a gym and she gets to pray with people all the time at her gym. And that's what I love about student ministry.
So how do you think your time at SEU Carolina prepared you for what you do today?
It challenged me in so many ways about how church ministry works. You know, it made me rethink the way that I saw church, the purpose of youth ministry, the purpose of Sunday mornings. The way that our Sunday morning services at Multiplier are structured are different than the church that I grew up in. And so coming to SEU Carolina gave me so many different perspectives on different ways that we can do things, and meeting people from so many different faith, like denominational backgrounds, challenged the way that I viewed expressions of faith. And so I think that well prepared me to be in the position that I am currently, specifically because our youth ministry, we have students whose parents go to so many different churches that don't have youth ministries. And so they're just looking for a place where they can be discipled and plugged in as students. And so that unique experience from SEU Carolina, having people from all over and them talking about their church experiences and studying all of that, prepared me to lead these students from so many different backgrounds and lead them well.
Question. Mm-hmm. So just reflecting for a moment, looking back, mm-hmm. what's something that still sticks with you today about your time at SEU Carolina?
There are a lot of things. Can I talk about Sydney?
Yeah.
Okay. We had a student named Sydney who she had moved in during Welcome Week and to where I was living at the time, so she was one of my roommates, and very suddenly passed away in a car accident. And that loved her. She was, when I was practicing in youth ministry early on, she was, I think, still in her later high school years. And so I'd known her for a while, and she was the sweetest girl. And she just had this beautiful heart for the Lord. And when she passed, that hit our school really hard because she had just started. And so it was shocking, and many of us were questioning, like, Lord, like, why would you take her so soon? Like, she had just begun. Yeah. And that was a big challenge to my faith and what I believe the Lord willed for his people. But that experience stretched me to believe, like, the Lord is still sovereign even in those moments, and how her life, even looking back on it now, still encourages people to worship the way that she worshiped. And she still got to lead children in the way that she dreamed, and the way that she felt the Lord was leading her to lead children. She was still so obedient in all the things. And for me to say that that's an incomplete life is not aligning myself with the will of the Lord at all. Mm-hmm. Like, what if the Lord had completed his work in her? And so I would say, like, that experience and getting to know her and mourning her so quickly, it pushed me to believe, like, what I think is a complete life is not what the Lord thinks is a complete life. What I think is the purpose of life, or a life worth living, isn't necessarily what the Lord thinks is a life worth living. And to live a life of obedience like Sydney did, that is a life worth living, regardless of what it looks like in the end.
Yeah, I definitely think that moment would definitely make the movie real. I mean, it definitely hit our school really hard, but you guys definitely navigated it with poise and grace, and and I can look back and say I definitely am proud of the way we honored her life.
Yeah.
And one of the things about Sydney that I love is she was able to achieve what most people don't do in a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And she knew what God had called her to do. She knew what she was on this earth for, and she was going to be a children's pastor. And she knew it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what she was coming here to do, to pursue that call. And so, yeah, it's definitely a good moment that will stick with all of us forever. If an incoming student asks you why they should come to SEU Carolina, what would you tell them?
SEU Carolina is a place where you grow your faith and you grow your community. You meet people here that will stick with you for the rest of your life, if you let them. I think that you have to come in with an open heart. You have to be willing to love and have that love rejected, or you have to, or accepted. You have to be open to those things. But SEU Carolina is a place where you will grow, regardless of where you're coming from or what your background is. You will grow.
Yeah,
It just will happen. It's inevitable.
so good, so good. All right, we've looked back. We've talked about where you're at in it today, and we've shed some tears. And so now it's time for a fun rapid round.
All right.
Rapid fire round.
All right.
All right. 60 questions, 60 seconds.
Oh gosh. Okay, that's a lot of questions.
Random questions. So in this series, we're interviewing a lot of different alumni, and we're giving everybody the same challenge just to see how far they can get.
Oh
Okay.
Lord. Okay.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Let's go. Favorite color?
Green.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Introvert or extrovert?
Both.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Go-to karaoke song?
Anything by Adele.
Your life song?
The whole thing. My tribute at this point in time. Yes.
Biggest pet peeve?
Ooh, leaving toothpaste in the sink. That comes from an RA. Hate it. Continue.
Famous person for dinner?
What?
Famous person for dinner. If you could have
Oh.
dinner with a famous person, who would it be?
Oh, Lincoln? I feel like that's everyone's answer.
Last thing you Googled?
Heels.
What makes your day better?
My friends.
Texting or talking?
Talking.
Best day of the week?
State? Day.
Best
Saturday.
day?
Saturday.
One thing you can't live without?
My bed.
Your nickname?
Amanda.
Favorite book of the Bible?
Colossians.
Bible character?
Esther.
Favorite verse?
Psalms 3:5.
Oh, we're out of time. Oh my gosh. You did so good.
Thank you.
How many questions do you think you got?
Like 10.
20. You did 20.
Really?
That's twice as good as your
In
expectations.
60 seconds?
Yes, you did
I'm
great.
so long-winded. I'm honored.
You did great. You did great. I think that you ended right close to where Easton was. I think Marquis got 21.
Dang it. Yeah, he talks fast.
And so anyway, or no, Marquis actually got to 30, didn't he? I don't even know.
30?
We'll have to cut all of this out. Yeah, I think Marquis got to 30.
insane.
Yeah, that's right. Marquis got to 30, and Debbie was on the show. Debbie
Love
got
Debbie.
to 21. All right,
All right.
You're at 20. So there's the lineup. There we go. All right.
Nice.
So before we close it out, what's one piece of advice you'd give to future students?
Just say yes.
Just say
Just say yes. There are going to be so many opportunities and so many reasons not to do them. Just do them.
So, what about future women in ministry? As a woman who's
Yeah.
accomplished so much, what advice would you give future girls who are aspiring to go to college and change the world?
Learn to defend your call, not to defend it to others, but to defend it to yourself. There will be so many people that question your call, that believe that you can't do what the Lord has called you to do.
Okay.
And if you don't know how to defend it to yourself, you'll question it too.
So good. So good. Amanda, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
It's a joy. It's so good to see you and get to catch up and hear about all the great work that you're doing. Listen, we're so proud of you. We're
Thank
so
you.
glad that you said yes, and glad that you made the journey across North Carolina to come here and to put down roots. And so thankful that you have stayed planted. And I think the church needs more people like you.
Thank you.
It really does. That's stepping up into ministry. It's not easy to go into ministry, and especially do youth ministry. And but those kids are the future, and you're making a difference by sowing seeds into their life. So thank you. So
Thanks for tuning in to Carolina Talk Radio, the official podcast of SEU Carolina. Today's broadcast was made possible by Multiply Church. Multiply Church is a Jesus-centered movement based in the Carolinas region and is helping people find life, family, freedom, and purpose. Today's broadcast was also brought to you by SEU Carolina, the leader in experiential education.